Hello, my name is Shivani, this is the Curly Bookworm, and today I want to give you 5 recommendations for audiobooks. Before we begin, I just want to say that if you like this video, please give it a like, share it, and do all of those wonderful things that help social media platforms up this video and make it reach more people. So with audiobooks, I've had an extremely interesting sort of a journey. I started, I think, many years ago with a memoir by Mindy Kaling, and it didn't work for me. I don't know why. Maybe I just wasn't used to it, I don't know, but I gave it another try a few years ago. I want to say 3 years ago or maybe 4 years ago, with a bunch of books, and then I think I came to like it a little bit, and now I actually quite enjoy it. I'm not sure I actually enjoy it as much as the reading experience itself, but it's quite good, especially now that I think the narratives have become better, the style has become better, the stories that are being told are even better. And so now's a good time to be reading or listening to an audiobook. And also, audiobook is one of the best ways to get into reading, especially if you've gotten out of the habit and you sort of still want to dip into stories, but you're not able to because reading feels a bit tiresome. Then audiobook may be your way in to reconnecting with stories and books, especially if you've had the habit and you don't have it anymore. Okay, so let's get started. So the first book that I want to talk to you about is this one. This is called The Dutch House by Pratchett. I know, why am I holding it when I'm recommending an audiobook? Well, because I actually listened to the whole audiobook, almost the whole audiobook. And then I was like walking around New York in a store and I found this book and it was beautiful. And I was like, I'm going to buy it because it's absolutely gorgeous. And then they had like maybe 100 pages left, maybe 80 pages left, and then I ended up reading the rest of it, and that was beautiful as well as an experience. But the reason why I'm recommending this book to you is essentially because it is narrated by Tom Hanks. Yes, that is correct. Tom Hanks. He sounds so good. The book is like that much better because he narrates it, and you're just like, I don't know, my heart was just like, oh, this is so good. Okay, so what is the book about? In short, the book is about a pair of siblings, Maeve and Danny, who grew up in this beautiful glass house. I think it's set in the late 1900s. And what happens is that they move into this glass house. Things get really weird. The mother sort of leaves the family. The father is lonely. A stepmother comes into the picture, and it sounds almost like a haunted house, but it's really not. The house has, sort of a character of its own, and it sort of affects people in different ways. Again, there is no mystery about it. It's not like a horror angle or anything. But it's interesting how everybody's dramatic lives sort of go around this house and its existence. And yeah, and The Dutch House is a good book. It's a great book to listen to as well. The second book that I want to talk to you about is one that I've already also talked to you about before. This is called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Again, the book has been narrated really well. It's been narrated by Elizabeth Gilbert, and she talks about the power of creativity. She talks about how to harness that power and how to not hide it. Where do our sources of inspiration come from, and what does it mean for us? How do we give in to our creativity rather than be scared of it? How do we think about our attitude, our approach to creativity, and sort of tools to use it in a good way, and how it can actually magnificently change your life if you actually lean into your creativity rather than, be scared of it. It's a lovely book. Let me know what you think about it. Another book that I want to recommend to you is The Dilemma by B.A. Paris. I think I've read another book by this author many years ago. I think it was in the thriller genre, and I really enjoyed it. So I listened to The Dilemma, which is also by her. Turns out it wasn't so much of a thriller, more like a psychological family drama sort of a thing. It wasn't really a mystery, like though there is a mystery there. And it was very fast, very pacey. And that is why I'm recommending this to you, not because it's like the best book on the universe, but because it's one of those things that will really keep you hooked on, especially if you aren't used to the audiobook platform. If you're listening to this book, my sense is that you're not going to get distracted so quickly because it grips you. Like, there's stuff that's happening constantly. Now, let me tell you what the book is about. It's about a family, Livia and Adam. Both of them got married really early. She got pregnant really early when they were dating, and she sort of had her first child, Mani. And they proceeded to get married and live together, but because they were so broke and so young and her parents didn't approve of it, they didn't end up having like a wedding or anything else to celebrate, and Livia is really upset about that. And so she wants to have, now she's turning 40 and she wants to have like this big blowout, and she's thought about it for like years and years. Many things are happening, there are lots of secrets that get uncovered on this big day, because plans never go according to how you want them to go. They will go however they want to go. And so this book is crazy. So yeah, go read this book, or well, listen to this book. Another book that I want to talk to you about is Becoming by Michelle Obama. I love this book. Again, like Big Magic, this book is also written and narrated by the author. It's a memoir. It's Michelle's memoir, and it is a lovely book. First of all, just listening to Michelle's voice is like, I don't know, it's really calming and it's really lovely. She has this wonderful, deliberate and beautiful way of speaking. You know that she's sort of picking her words and she's picking her tone, and that's all really lovely, and that's what makes for a good sort of audio experience. That's why I kind of recommend it as an audiobook rather than the book itself, which I'm sure the book itself is like amazing, but for me the audio experience was really great. Another audiobook that I want to recommend to you is Circe. Again, I'm holding the book because I listened to it and I was like, oh man, I have to have this book. I'm going to read it after I listen to it as well. So like I said in another video that I made, this was about Circe. Circe is like, I think she's a half god. Her father is Helios, who is like one of the mightiest titans. So this is basically based on Greek mythology, and she's his daughter, and she is not particularly powerful or beautiful or strong or anything as far as gods or demigods or whatever go. And that's unfortunate because everybody treats her really badly because of that, and she has this really big like self-esteem, self-respect problem, which is really interesting because like she's supposed to be immortal, right? Like you would think that they would not have those issues, but she does. And so she takes some like really shitty decisions in her life and she's punished for it. She's exiled, and she has this whole adventure on the island that she's exiled to. If like Greek mythology and stuff is your jam, then this is definitely a book that you should listen to. I really liked how the narrator narrated this book as well. I just felt like it was really, it made me feel very like mystic and like, just created an atmosphere. I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying, I think. But yeah, this is definitely another recommendation that I would make as far as an audiobook goes. So that's it from me. Those are 5 books that I think you should listen to on an audiobook. Let me know if you've listened to any of these or read any of these. If you've listened to them, I'm actually curious to know what you liked about the experience of listening to these books versus reading them. A lot of these books I've also sort of like tried to read as well, right? So I kind of know what that difference is, and I'm curious to know what your perceptions are. That's it from me for today. I will come back with more audiobook recommendations as and when I read them and I have more to say about them. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.